Hi and welcome back to my channel. This is a mental health video and I'm going to be talking about some of these cards that I got in the mail a couple of months ago. A friend of mine sent them to me. I am on a chat room called Mental Health Support Group. It's on a Wire Club. I don't know if any one of you is familiar with that, but I go there when I'm a moderator, but I did stumble across it about 2-3 years ago when I was having a mental health breakdown. I was feeling very depressed and suicidal, and I was going through a very manic episode, and people on there really did help me out with a lot of support, emotional support, and some advice, and just knowing that I wasn't alone, even though I was alone in my house and I was contemplating some very not good things. So I'm just very thankful to those people that were helping me that day and the advice, and now it's just like a community and it's very lovely. And yeah, how many times can I say yeah or and? Anyways, so I'm going to choose from one of these cards and then I'm going to read from it, and we'll talk about it. And please let me know in the comments if you find this helpful, and if you yourself suffer with any type of mental health disorder or eating disorder or anything. Like personally, my Prozac stopped working a couple of weeks ago, so I am on Trintellix. Today is my 4th day, and I have noticed a huge improvement in my sleep, so I'm very happy about that. Anyways, one of these cards I'm gonna pick. Which one? Should I go for a green one or a pink one, or should I do like one of each? Here, I'll do one of these. Okay. So it says emotion regulation. Change by problem solving to painful emotions. Justified guilt or shame. Repair the transgression. Say, I'm sorry. Apologize. Make things better. Do something nice for the person I offended or for someone else if that is not possible. Commit to avoiding that mistake in the future. Accept the consequences gracefully. Then let it go. And then it comes out with like a little thing here which says, your mistakes do not make you a bad person. Making mistakes is part of being human. Give yourself permission to release your guilt and shame. Forgive yourself. I think that is like so important, because like a lot of people, like myself included, I will hold on to the guilt, I will hold on to the shame, I will try and punish myself, whether physically or emotionally, and deny myself from like going out and experiencing good things, because why should I get to do something good when I hurt, say, my boyfriend? Like, I hurt him mentally, like I cheated on him so many years ago, so I would just sit there and be like, okay, I'm gonna, cut myself because I'm gonna show him how sorry I am. But that is not good thinking at all. And it's so important to forgive yourself and let it go, and then also not making the same mistakes again and again, because then you're just not respecting that person or yourself. And yeah, and to figure out, well, why do I keep making these same mistakes? Like, what's going on and how can I avoid that? Or is there something else that you want in your life? So yeah, that's where the commit to avoid the same mistake in the future. And then accept the consequences. Like, if I call a friend, some mean names or whatever, then they're not going to want to talk to me. And then I'm just going to have to accept that. Like, sometimes sorry isn't enough, and you just got to move on from it and forgive yourself and don't keep dwelling in the past. And then on the other side of the card, it says, emotion regulation. Change by acting opposite to painful emotions. Go from to this. Justified guilt or shame. Feel guilty when I set boundaries. Feel shameful when I take care of me. What to do? Continue to set boundaries and do self-care until it feels more comfortable. So self-care is not something to feel guilty about. Self-care is very important for your mental well-being and physical well-being as well. And like there's this book, it's called like Fill Your Bucket, and it's very important. You gotta fill up your bucket, because if your bucket's not full, then you can't fill up other people's buckets. And also, like, I used to let my emotional bucket get completely empty until I realized, like, I went to counseling and they said, no, do not let it go empty, because then it'll be a harder time to refill it. So when it gets to about halfway empty, start refilling it and just keep refilling it. Like, don't even let it get halfway empty. Like, do your self-care. Sleep in, do your laundry. There's this video that I watched, a YouTuber, I don't know if I can say her name, but she said, you know, do things for your future self so that your future self doesn't have to worry about doing laundry, you know, on the weekend when you just want to relax or binge watch Netflix, or just, you know, go for that hour, you know, walk or whatever. But then, you know, you can't do that because then you have all this laundry. So, like, do the laundry throughout the week, and then you don't have to do it on the weekend. You know, do things for your future self. Oh, you know what? You want to learn a language? Well, then commit to 15 minutes a day to just learning that new language, and then at least at the end of the week or whatever, you don't have to spend 2 hours just doing it. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so then the second card that I picked up is called Interpersonal Effectiveness, Goals and Priority. It's so funny that, like, I picked these cards because this is stuff that I actually need to learn. Okay, lack of skill. I actually don't know what to say or how to act. I don't know how I should behave to achieve my objectives. I don't know what will work. Indecision. I can't decide what to do or what I really want. I have the ability, but my indecision gets in the way of doing or saying what I want. I am ambivalent about my priorities. I can't figure out how to balance asking for too much versus not asking for anything, or saying no to everything versus giving into everything. Mom, and just one moment, my kids are home. Hi. So my kids went to the store and got me some water. Woohoo. Anyways, so I can't decide what to do or what I really want. I have the ability, but my indecision gets in the way of doing or saying what I want. This is true. Very, very true. Or fear. For myself, fear gets in the way, like fear of failure or just financial. Well, no, not even financially. Like, I can say that, you know, financial reasons gets in the way of doing what I want, like taking dance classes. But, like, it's about self-care and the energy and being anemic and having hypothyroidism and depression and da-da-da-da-da. But all those things are getting, you know, taken care of. I have to take my iron pills every day, or else I will be headachy and tired. Hello. You can grab it. So I can't figure out how to balance asking for too much versus not asking for anything. And that is true, because, like, I will ask my boyfriend to do, like, all the laundry all the time, because, well, I don't know about, yeah, anyways. I'm gonna ramble, and I'm just not gonna ramble. So, yeah. Okay. And then on the flip side of the card, interpersonal effectiveness, factors reducing effectiveness, worry thoughts. Worry thoughts get in the way of my ability to act effectively. I have the ability, but my worry thoughts interfere with doing or saying what I want. Worries about bad consequences. They won't like me. She will think I'm stupid, in quotes. Worries about whether I deserve to get what I want. I am such a bad person, I don't deserve this. Worries about not being effective and calling myself names. I won't do it right. I'll probably fall apart. I'm too stupid. And then it has, like, a little picture of the Mr. Worry person. There we go. So yeah, I don't know if any of you can relate to that, about, like, the negative self-talk, and you gotta stop that. Honestly, what has worked for me is every time I'll say something, like I'll be working and then I'll make a mistake, and I used to say, "Oh, I'm so stupid," or whatever, and then I'd be like, "No, I am not stupid. I am learning. I am human." And eventually I said that enough times, and I kept doing that. Like every time I had a negative thought, I'd be like, "No." I'd tell myself no, and then I'd switch it with a positive thought. And recently, like I've had very little negative thoughts about myself because I keep doing that. I keep telling myself, "No, I'm not going to tolerate myself bullying. Bullying is not allowed. I don't let my children bully themselves, and I'm gonna like be responsible and be a good role model that I'm not gonna bully myself." And you know what, y'all, don't be bullying yourself. It's very, what I tell my kids and what I've been learning is that you have to be your own best friend. I know that sounds very narcissistic and very like, you know, self-absorbed or whatever, but it's like, it's true. If you don't love yourself, if you're not your best friend, then like how are you gonna get other people to treat you properly? And how are you gonna be able to like accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish? So anyway, should I pick up 2 more cards and go from there? I want to let you know, I want to know in the comments, do you bully yourself? And if you do, what sort of things do you say? And how can you stop? Like, is just actively, like, even some people will put a elastic band over their breast, and every time they say something mean to themselves, they'll snap it and then bring themselves to the moment and be like, "No, I am a good person. I am learning. I'm human. I am not stupid. I'm smart. I am intelligent." Da 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 da. Don't let that negative self-talk win you guys. So anyways, I'm going to pick another card. We'll pick this one. Okay, well, I picked 2. Okay, interpersonal effectiveness. Cheerleading statements. Okay. It is okay to want or need something from someone else. I can stand it if I don't get what I want or need. The fact that someone says no to me, to my request, doesn't mean I should not have asked in the first place. If I didn't get my objectives, that doesn't mean I didn't go about it in a skillful way. The fact that I say no to someone doesn't make me a selfish person. If I say no to people and they get angry, that doesn't mean I should have said yes. I can still feel good about myself even though someone else is annoyed with me. Oh wow, those are pretty powerful cheerleading statements. And it's so true. Like, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to not feel guilty when you're saying no. I mean, no means no, and people have to respect that even when they're upset. Because, like, and it's okay if other people say no to you too. I know that I have a big fear of when people say no. Like, I'll avoid even asking, but because I'm not worried about saying no, like, no is just kind of scary to me, but it's something that I've got to practice and everything. And even, for example, like today, my husband and I, well, my boyfriend or whatever, anyways, we were all going for a walk, and he was kind of upset with me because of the way that we crossed the road, and I was quite upset that he was upset with me because he was mad. But I was worried that he was going to stay mad for the rest of the day, and that was just going to ruin the day. So then I asked him, I was like, "You know what? Are you mad? I'm sorry that this happened, but can we please move on from it?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, like I already got over it. Like, I'm not mad anymore, but I have this fear that he's just gonna hold on to it, and then, you know, okay, that's a whole nother story." Okay, so then on the back of this is interpersonal effectiveness. Balance priorities versus demands. Reduce or put off low priority demands. Replace worried or anxious thoughts with cheerleading statements. Identify factors that are reducing my effectiveness. Okay. And then on the other card, interpersonal effectiveness. Factors to consider. Priorities. Objectives very important, increase intensity. Relationship tenuous, reduce intensity. Self-respect on the line, intense Intensity fits values. Capability. Is the person able to give me what I want? Do I have what the person wants? Timeliness. Is this a good time to ask? Is this a bad time to say no? So those are all questions that you can be asking, in the moment. Like, because if I'm at work, I can't be asking someone to do my laundry because, like, that's inappropriate. Unless you work at, like, a laundromat, I guess. I don't know. Or you're paying someone. I don't know. Okay. Interpersonal effectiveness. Say no. If more no's than yeses, say no. Do I have what this person wants? Is it bad time for me to say no? Is request clear? Oh my gosh, that is so important because I've had people ask me to do things and the request is not clear. And it's like, what do you want from me? Is person in authority over me? Does someone, so like I guess going to work and it's like, oh, I'm just going to sit down in the chair and then they ask me to go to work. I can't say no. Well, you could, but then you could get fired. Okay, does saying no violate person's right? Is request appropriate? Does person give me a lot to do? I owe? Does no interfere with long-term goals? Does wise mind say yes? So, yeah, that's just a little yes-no questionnaire type of thing. So, yeah, anyways, well, I'm going to end this video. Thank you for staying till the end, if you did stay till the end. And I hope you all have a great day, and I hope that you guys change those mean bully words that you guys are saying to yourselves and honestly switch them into the positive. And eventually, after like a week or two, you will notice a difference. And also, journaling. Journaling helps for me. Other people might write poems or write stories or whatever, but and I don't journal every day because then it becomes a chore and like I don't want to add another chore to my daily life. So like I'll go like days and weeks without journaling because I don't have anything to say, and then I'll go a couple days journaling and just keeping it. And it's great to write a list of what you do positive and what you can say if your mind is trying to say, hey, you're a bad person. And it's like, no, I'm not a bad person. I'm learning just because I made a mistake. But anyways,